Hi, welcome to another video. Last month, in November, I received the largest monthly dividend payments since I started investing in my portfolio in nearly 4 years. And over this 4-year period, I've received nearly $12,000 in dividend income, and I'm a small investor. 4 years is no time at all in the investing world. And by the way, I have reinvested every last dollar that I have received in dividend income. In this video, I'll share with you how much and which companies paid me dividends in November. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. I appreciate you all very much. For those who may be interested, I'll list how much I have invested in each position down in the description section below. And by the way, I invest on Questrade and I have a referral code down in the description section as well. If you're looking to open up an investment account on Questrade, if you use my referral code, you'll get $50 bonus towards your investments. Now, my returning viewers will know that I started by investing less than $100 in October of 2021, and my first dividend income was less than $2, $1.62. And that fast payment changed my spending habits completely. I became obsessed. I figured if the little amount I had invested then could pay me $1.62, what if I increased how much I was investing? I cut down my spending and I put every dollar I could find, extra money I could find, into my portfolio. And wait until you see how much I received in November of 2025, just over 4 years from when I started investing. My portfolio currently has 22 stocks. I think I have about 6 ETFs and the rest are individual stocks. Now, as a word of caution, do not try to copy other people's portfolios because we all have different goals. Use other people's portfolios as an encouragement. I watch other YouTubers, other investors, and I learn from them. I've made a lot of mistakes along the way. I think I made a video not too long ago. I'll put it up somewhere, in which I admitted to losing almost $10,000 over the journey, over these 4 years of my investment journey. But I've learned from it all. And in the end, I'm much further ahead. So be wary of copying other people's portfolios because you might end up in a wrong place. If you're sitting on the sideline and waiting for the right time to get started, I'll tell you something, the right time is today. Because you can start with as little as $1. And that's always been my rallying cry. Once you get started, you will get motivated. You will find money to keep on investing. Ultimately, time is the greatest ingredient in the return of any portfolio. The sooner you start, the better you'll be, or the greater your portfolio will grow out to be. Now, something else to note is that earlier in your investment journey, your portfolio largely grows through your own contributions. But over time, as you contribute more and reinvest dividends, compounding will set in and do most of the heavy lifting for you. Now, before we look at the numbers for November this year, let's look at the past few Novembers. In November of 2025, I received a total of $3.72 in dividend income. I know, they start that little. In November of 2022, I received $48.46. In November of 2023, I received $351.02. And in November of 2024, I received a total of $425.04. Keep those numbers in mind even as we look at November of 2025. Now, if you enjoy content like this, please consider liking this video and subscribing to the channel. It helps the channel grow and it costs you nothing. It also encourages me to continue making these videos. Do not forget to share with family and friends. Now, let's look at the numbers for 2025, November 2025. This is my activity summary that I usually download from my brokerage account on Questrade. Returning viewers will be familiar with this. Column C is basically the transaction date, the date on which I received the payments. Action is dividends, the tickers, codes by which stocks trade on the stock market. The description is the name of the stock or description of the ETF. Quantity, number of shares for which I'm receiving payments. Net amount. Now, I hold my stocks both in Canadian and US dollars, depending on where the stock is listed. So the net amount would be the amount received in the respective currencies. Column I, currency, so Canadian dollars or US dollars. Column J says all Canadian. Now, I convert all my US dollars into Canadian dollars for the sake of these videos so that we're working with a single currency. It's reasonable. Column L says activity type, and it says dividends. Other activity types might have been trades when I buy or sell stocks. Column M says account type. I have 3 different accounts on this portfolio. 2 tax-sheltered accounts, a TFSA, which is equivalent to the Roth IRA, and an RRSP, which is equivalent to the 401k, plus a margin account, a plain old taxable account. Now, let's look at how much I have received year to date before November 2025. So for January to October the 31st of 2025, I received a total of $4,820.38. That's the first 10 months of 2025. Now, let's look at November of 2025. So, in November of 2025, on November the 13th, Apple, ticker symbol AAPL, I have 25 shares. Apple paid me $7.80, and I hold Apple in my TFSA. That's a tax-sheltered account, and it is a US listed stock. If you carry US listed stocks in your TFSA, dividend income will be subject to a 15% withholding tax. So the amount you see here, the $7.80, is net of withholding tax. Withholding tax has already been deducted by Questrade. That's my brokerage. So Apple is one of those stocks that I hold largely for growth, because you can see the dividend income is really very modest, really immaterial. Then on the 14th of November, ABBV, ticker symbol ABBV. ABBV is a pharmaceutical company. Excuse me. I have 30 shares of ABBV, and it paid me $58.97. That's also in my TFSA, and the amount, $58.97, is also net of withholding tax. So that's the 14th of November. Next payment came on the 17th of November. Procter & Gamble, ticker symbol PG. I have 50 shares of Procter & Gamble. It's also in a tax-sheltered account, but that's the RRSP, and there's no withholding tax there. So in US dollars, PG paid me $52.84. In Canadian, that's $74.50. On the 24th of November, I received 3 different payments from the same stock, Royal Bank of Canada, ticker symbol RY. I have the Royal Bank of Canada in 3 different accounts, in all my accounts. Now, I've had people ask me, why would you hold the same stock in more than one account? It's because the contribution rooms in the tax-sheltered accounts is limited annually, and I can only put in so much. And once the room is maxed out, I cannot continue to buy the same stock or whatever other stock in those accounts. So then I open the margin account and start to put, to invest in the same stock. Because if I have a target, I have a goal for a specific stock, I will continue to invest in it even if the tax-sheltered accounts are full. So I have Royal Bank of Canada in my margin account. I have 30 shares, and I received $46.20 for the 30 shares. This is the newest position. I also have the Royal Bank of Canada in my TFSA. I have 110 shares, and that paid me $169.40. And then I have 82 shares in my RRSP. This is the oldest position, and I have the smallest contribution room usually in my RRSP, because my pension contribution, it's part of my RRSP as well. So I have 82 shares in my RRSP, and I received $126.28. In total, the Royal Bank paid me $341.88, and I have a total of 222 shares of the Royal Bank of Canada. So that's November the 24th. Then November the 26th, Bank of Montreal. Bank of Montreal, I have in 2 different accounts, in my TFSA and my margin account. Something else I wanted to mention is that I hold 3 of Canada's big 5 banks. Canada's big 5 banks are perhaps some of the best dividend payers and most dependable dividend stocks, I will say. All 5 banks have been in existence since the 1800s, and they are kind of an oligopoly. They are a bit sheltered from the rest of the world by authorities. So in my estimation, I think they are fairly safe banks to invest in if you're looking for dividends, because they're very good dividend payers. So I hold the Royal Bank of Canada, Bank of Montreal, and TD Canada Trust. So anyway, I digress. Bank of Montreal, ticker symbol BMO. In my margin account, I have 40 shares. It's a newer position. I received $65.20. And then I have 151 shares in my TFSA. This is my older position of these two. And I received $246.13. In total, Bank of Montreal paid me $311.33. In total, 5 different stocks. Granted, Royal Bank and BMO paid me more than one time, but there were just 5 stocks here for a total of $794.48 in a single month. In 2022, for the whole year, I received $889 in total dividend income. And to think that have come close to $800 in a single month, that's very heartwarming for me. Now, let's look at how much I have received in total for the whole of 2025 so far. And so this is all my dividend payments for 2025. Year to date, I have received $5,614.86. Now, earlier this year, I set myself a goal of achieving an average monthly dividend income of $500 per month in 2025. What that means is that I would need to achieve a total annual dividend income of at least $6,000, because 6,000 divided by 12 months is 500. Given that I have received 5,614 so far, let's see how far I have come or how much more I need. So given that I'm at 5,614 at the end of November, I need to receive $385.14 in December in order to hit my goal of $500 per month. Average monthly dividend income, really. So I think that I am very close to getting here. At this point, I can't see why I will not be able to hit and beat my target, but that is how far I have come. Now, I have not yet updated my monthly dividend tracker, so let us go and update my monthly dividend tracker together with my dividend income for November. So this is my monthly dividend tracker. Regular viewers will be familiar with this. It starts in 2021 because that's when I started investing. And recall how I started with less than $2. I started with $1.62 in dividend income, and my total income for 2021 was less than $62. And here is 2022. Remember, $890, and I just received close to $800 in November alone. For the whole of 2022, I received less than $900. In 2023, I received a total of $1,667 in dividend income. And then last year in 2024, I received a total of $3,617. Now for 2025, let's update dividend income for November. There we go. So $5,614.85. And so I indicated earlier, I need $6,000 to achieve my average monthly dividend income of $500. So what that means, based on my average now, my average of $468 is based on the full year. So this is based on 12 months. And so I need about $32 on average in order to achieve my goal of $500 per month. And I think that I am very close, because look at December of 2024. You can see that my total monthly dividend income for December was close to $450. And November tends to be a fairly good month for me. So I think that I will beat my target. Really, the key is to be intentional and to remain consistent. Also for me, because I'm fully employed right now, I reinvest every last dividend income I receive. I've never withdrawn any dividend income since I started investing. Ultimately, the key is to get started and remain consistent. Start with broad market ETFs. As I indicated earlier, the challenge usually is getting started. One thing that scares off people is they hear a lot of talk about market risk. Start with index funds and ETFs. And some people think you need a large amount of money to get started. No, you can start investing with as little as $1. And by starting with index funds and ETFs, exchange traded funds, you do not need skills in picking stocks because this is a diversified mutual fund put together by professionals who have done all the dirty work for you. So if you're new to the market, start with index funds or ETFs. Consider broad market ETFs because those tend to be more highly diversified. Total stock market ETFs like VTI if you're in the US, or XIC, ZCN if you're in Canada, or invest in the S&P 500. These are index funds that track 500 of the best performing companies in the US. They are the benchmark for the market. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you're encouraged and found it helpful. If you did, please consider liking, subscribe, share with family and friends. I'll see you in the next one.